right. Here, I think we're ready for day stream. Dog's here to say hi. It's been a while since we got a dog stream because Lily's been in. I can hear Lily clambering against the dog gate outside. She wants to be here, but I'm trying to prolong that inevitability for a dog stream. But anyway, hello everybody. We're back. Sorry, no stream on Friday, but it was Valentine's Day. Went on a date, etc., etc. Didn't have time for a stream, so we're back today. Not our usual shtick. A bit of a twist. Dog has been freed. I locked her up like 2 weeks ago. Let's calm down. Anyway, play a lot of Death and Taxes on the channel, but this weekend I was feeling a little bit spicy. Felt like I wanted to do something cool in the challenge, so I put this list together in like 30 minutes before the challenge started, and ran it through. We got top 32. Hit some bad matchups. Deck didn't actually feel terrible though, so I was like, yeah, let's play it on Monday, show off what it can do, and then probably like 0-4 and cry about it. I made one change, technically two changes from the 75 that got posted on the list, that got posted for the challenge. The 75 that got posted for the challenge was actually 74 because I made the deck list so fast and like had to rent the cards and stuff. And I didn't realize until like round 2 that Moto actually just didn't register my second GT that was in the sideboard. So I just had a 14 card sideboard and no GT, which made the 2 Stone Fortune Mystics in the sideboard way worse. But the other change, I cut the Unsettled Mariner for a 4th Meddling Mage. I think Meddling Mage is like a big reason to play this deck. So I was playing yesterday and like so many draw steps. I was like, man, I really wish I was going to draw Meddling Mage this turn because Meddling Mage is really good against a lot of the decks right now. Oh god, those claws. Just stop losing your balance. As far as this deck, it is an extremely rough draft of the concept. Uncooked chicken requires love. She does. She's so lonely, even though she gets attention all the time. What's up, Lauren Boy? I haven't seen you in a while. What is this madness? This is the madness I played in the challenge yesterday, so we're streaming it today. Please stop stabbing me, dog. But anyway, this is, like I was saying, this is an extremely rough iteration. I built it like 30 minutes before the actual challenge. So there are definitely some kinks to be ironed out. But I liked the feel of it a lot, so I wanted to play the test the deck a little bit more. You know, just kind of try it out. So, feel free to ask any questions about the list. It's on Cardboard Live. It's available. It's right here, right now, if you guys want to look at it some more. But I'm going to just jump into some games here. I want a Hairless Cat, but I don't know how Florida is for them. It's usually pretty fine, as long as they don't get, like, obviously you're not taking your cats outside very often. But, like, as long as they're, like the heat, I guess, might be. I don't know. I think the heat's better for them than cold is, because, like, they're hairless, so they don't have any fur. They have trouble staying warm. Like, dog is underneath, like, blankets and stuff all the time in February in the Midwest, so. Congrats on the 22nd place. Thanks. It wasn't great record. I was like 4-3, but I think one of my losses was to some pretty bad luck towards the back half. I think one of my losses I just got like shit stomped by Green Post, but that's my life. Hey, Thrabian University, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. But yeah, the record wasn't great. Yes, I was also playing Blue White Taxes, so 22nd, not bad. Alright, sweet. Snap this hand off. But honestly, so there was some like actual reasoning for me wanting to try out a deck like this. It wasn't just like me going off the deep end and like wanting to play some nonsense. I had some, if dog would stop interrupting me. I had some like actual reasoning for wanting to do this. And the reasoning is so I really like a lot of the blue hate bears in the current meta. There's like a lot of combo decks, specifically Breach, that D&T can struggle a little bit to compete with on the axis of like all your so much of your Breach hate is artifacts and enchantments, and all of that just gets hosed so badly by Serenity. There was a little of a lengthy discussion on Twitter about this, about like options for the permanent based hate decks to fight off Breach, because Breach is built in such a way that they can like try to fight those decks off relatively easily. Blue gives you access to a lot cooler cards for fighting Breach that don't get just hosed by Serenity, stuff like Meddling Mage or Lavinia, stuff like Spell Queller, just like a lot of really powerful options. We're just gonna play an Aetherfile here. Look, we're Merfolk. But anyway, the other thing is Stoneforge Mystic has been really lackluster in like every matchup that doesn't involve creatures, which has been in a growing quantity for a while. Stoneforge being one of D&T's biggest card advantage engines in like the in some of the more controlling matchups, where you can get like sort of Fire and Ice online and try to like keep up with stuff like Miracles and the blue-black control decks of the world. Just really hasn't been doing it, especially because all the control decks, like the one we're maybe playing against here, just like have Okos and stuff. Oh, never mind. Getting Emreed? Oh boy. Stoneforge has been really lackluster in a lot of those matchups. 3-ball, Mox Opal. This is weird. I wonder if I want to play Lavinia here. Lavinia shuts off the zeros. Might be better than Meddling Mage. My opponent's like not ramping. They can't cast Mox Opal with Lavinia, so Lavinia is probably actually correct. But anyway, so Stoneforge being like medium, blue Hate Bears being good, and a lot of the decks are faster too, to the point where I like actually having access to stuff like Force of Will. D&T does eternally have the problem of like you are inherently a slow deck that doesn't get a lot of interaction online until turn 2. Sometimes you have like, oh, your sideboard Deafening Silences, or your Grafdigger's Cages, or whatever, but like you don't have a lot of tools to fight back, or to like to fight on the stack, fight on different axes. So I wanted to try out something like this. I think Force will me. I think I'm supposed to force back. Seems like pretty good against them. Next turn I want to like Meddling Mage on Karn or something. I don't know exactly what my opponent's up to, but they have a flooded strain though, so they're probably not mono blue, but they could be like Narset, LED, Wheel, Echo Aeons or whatever. They could be on Karn, Urza, they could be on like Okos or Baleful Strixes or something. There are a lot of options my opponent could be doing. Like, I really don't give a shit if my opponent 3-balls me. We have a bunch of lands and an Aether Vial. This Lavinia actually, like, seeming pretty good in this matchup. One thing that I did learn, like, playing earlier, wow, they're just gonna 3-ball me, go for it, opponent. One of the things I did learn that like Lavinia was pretty mediocre from what I saw, so I wasn't particularly interested in it. But Lavinia pulling her weight right now, all of a sudden, yeah, go right ahead. Mistake disputes these legs. They play right probably in the decks that like aren't playing Pyroblast and aren't playing blue. Yeah, I don't even want to counter this. Go right ahead and 3-ball me, opponent. We have an Aether Vial. I think we're just gonna like leave up 3 mana to cast a Force of Will, pitching the Kira. We could obviously draw something. Brazen Borrower. That could also be interesting. So we could leave up the ability to cast like Petty Theft or Force of Will, pitching probably the Kira. I think I just want a Meddling Mage Karn right now, because that's like the most scary card for them to play. Is Urza that threatening? I don't think so, especially with Lavinia locking down the ability to like activate Urza. It's just like a construct in the way that can get brazenly borrowed. We could also like Force of Will something. Yeah, I think I just want a Meddling Mage named Karn. Karn's kind of annoying. Karn the Great Creator. Oh yeah, Brazen Bar is like pretty nuts in price. So the ability to counter something scary, like pay 3 mana and force pitching the Kira, or we can like Brazen Borrow something if it's not that scary. Like if they play an Urza, I probably just Brazen Borrow the construct. Just leave them with the 1/4. Yeah, Brazen Borrow is definitely a card you want to pick up at some point. A very powerful card in a lot of formats. If my opponent doesn't do anything, do I want to flash in this Brazen Borrow and stuff? I don't think so. I think having access to the Petty Theft is nice. Wow, Wasteland. Is my opponent... No, there's no way my opponent's mono blue. They have a bunch of fetches, and I doubt they're a Brainstorm deck. My opponent probably has like a Light Splash for Oko or Baleful Strix or something. Chalice on 1. Does my opponent understand the matchup that they're playing? Yeah, that resolves. I feel like my opponent really doesn't get it. Like, I don't even... I think I just want to hold on to this Brazen Borrower. It's possible that I wanted to just, like, play a 3-1. I don't even think I want to, like, get the Cura Bubble online. We have a Mother of Runes, so getting the Cura Bubble doesn't matter. And I think it's more likely that we pitch it to Force or something. City Traders, they have a lot of mana. There's the Urza Lord High Artificer. They have 3 cards left in hand. Should I just Force a Will this? I don't think so. The 1/4 does kind of stymie my attackers, because my attackers look this just motley crew of 2/2s. So I force this pitch Kira. We attack them for 4 down to 8. We have Brazen Bar for their next play. What cards am I scared of them casting after this? Like an Oko, maybe? I think with Brazen Bar we could fight off an Oko with our board state, too. 1 land away from just hard casting this Force, though. Recruiter's nice. Venser's pretty hot, Click's pretty hot, Soul Herder is pretty hot. Can we just click them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're at 8. We can't actually hit them for 8. Actually, technically we could. Yeah, let's just Vendilion click them. Yeah, we have the Brazen Borrower. We get pretty easily. Surprise, Vendilion click. Wow, your hand sucks. Oh man, got him good. This card in the Great Crater Stranded hand. They do have a Maze of Ith, so yeah, you can keep all those cards, opponent. They have a Maze of Ith, so we can't attack for lethal this turn, but... Okay, yeah, they just concede. Deal. Hey. Quit that. Punk. Dang cat. Alright. So sideboard plans. We didn't see anything. We just saw Fast Mana, Emry, Urza, Karn. They looked mono blue, but they had fetch lands, which makes me skeptical. Does seem like realistically they are on a very light splash for something. Seems like there are like just a Chalice Stompy deck though, and we want stuff like this probably. Force of Wills, Council's Judgment. Lavinia seems okay. It turns off like Emery being super threatening and like casting baubles and stuff, or like ramming with Mox Opals. It can prevent, like if we played on turn 2, prevents like a turn 3 Karn or something. It's a little bit, definitely worse on the draw, but I can see it being reasonable. I don't think my opponent is very much for interaction. Stuff like Kira, probably not relevant, and stuff like Mom, probably not relevant. Might be able to go down on Plows. Wait, what the fuck? Did no one look at the challenge results to see the absolute bullshit that I was playing? You punk. I let you in here. You're not allowed to chew on these. You absolute menace. I think that's about it, as far as we know. We might see more of the deck and decide on other things. I think shaving on Plow is probably fine. They don't have a lot of creatures, but you definitely want to be able to answer like an early Emery or like an Urza or something. Big Construct. This looks okay to me. My opponent has submitted a 61 card main deck. Alright, one line violent draw. Extremely risky if my opponent's going to play a turn 1 Chalice. Double Thalia, which is like medium Borrower, medium Recruiter, decent. I think this hand is... this hand... No, I don't like this hand. On the draw, there's a really high risk of just getting like Karned too, even if they don't Chalice Man one. I think we just want a hand that actually has lands. They have 3 balls in their deck. They probably didn't cut all of those. There are a lot of ways we get punished for this hand. Alright, yeah, this hand definitely works a lot better. I think we're going to bottom the Thalia. I think we want to plow for an early creature. I think I'd rather play Meddling Mage than Thalia on turn 2. And, like, hold up Spell Queller. Thalia doesn't seem, like, super great in this matchup. You're a monster. Hey, sometimes you just want to mess around. You know? Oh god, Lily's coming. Which means Dog's leaving. Wait, you can't just let Dog in here. You gotta kick out the cats.
Yeah, I was about to. Come here, doggy.
Did you bring Lily a toy?
No, but I will.
Just make sure it doesn't squeak.
Yep.
Seat of the Synod Go is nice. Lead on Heath, so we can fetch basic planes if we want to. My opponent did show us Wastelands, so... Well, it looks like we might have to fetch a Tundra anyway to cast this Council's Judgment. Sure. That's only 3 mana. The Mox Opal's not online. It's not the worst thing in the world. Their Mox Opal's online, but we can just Rashad Import next turn. So this is fine. Carcass is potentially nice. Yeah, Dog is gone. I don't have another white mana, so we can fetch like basic island and use this white mana when we want to cast the Council's Judgment. We fetch basically off the Flooded Strand, I mean. Then we just port this Ancient Tomb. They can cast a 3-drop if they have a land still. If their Mox Opal's online now, yeah. Like play an Emery or something. Tangle Wire. It's kind of scary, I guess. Weird deck. What are we playing against? Yeah. Tapped in a lot of permanents. able to play out the Caracas here on the off chance they have to tap down 3 permanents, so they can tap down... They can probably tap down the 3-ball since all my lands are getting tapped anyway. Tap down 3-ball thing, so they could potentially, like, cast an Emery or something if they wanted to that we might want to bounce. Also, like, if they do tap down the Sphere, we can actually cast the Source of Plowshares. Nope, they're leaving the 3-ball up. I guess they might have another land then. Or just nothing to cast. Nope, they just have more lands. This is Karn. This is bad news. Urza is less scary. We can plow the Construct, or plow the Urza. Construct's a 6/6. Might need to just plow this Construct in the upkeep here. Since the activated ability, less scary because they have a 3-ball in play. They can tap at the Tanglewire, but I think we have to just plow this Construct because it's very large. We have to have 3 permanents, so we can just do that. Next turn we can actually cast... Actually, no, we can't cast anything, because 3-ball plus Tanglewire means we would need to draw a land to cast something still. Lily. Calm down. Spyglass. Well, I should probably crack this Flooded Strand. Lily, get out of the trash. Hey. What the fuck? Barbecue Wing, thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support. So probably leave up, what, Plains Port? So we can... porting them doesn't seem very important. It might just be leave up Plains Island on the off chance we draw a colorless source of mana, so we can still cast like a Meddling Mage. What would even Meddling Mage? I'd say Karn, but they definitely would have cast a Karn over an Urza that turn, I will think. When they just had 4 mana and they played Urza. Because Karn is just super busted when you're like tapping your opponent's shit down. I guess I'd leave up Island Caracas, because if we didn't draw a land, we could like bounce an Emery or something. Potentially. Opponent is having a lot of trouble figuring out what to name with the Spyglass. Which makes sense, we don't have a lot of good names here. Like Port, not a good name. Ooh, tapping the 3-ball. Now we can cast this Meddling Mage. Oh, this looks scary. Is this a Ballista? A Chalice for 3. Well, I guess that's kind of a bummer. Why is there a Mazavith in their deck? That seems so weird. What am I guess I got a Meddling Mage Karn. They're Hellbent, and if they draw a Karn, it's extremely scary. Yeah, Chalice on 3 might be hard to beat. We have a lot of 3-drops, and I don't think we have any ways to get rid of a Chalice that's in play. That is on 3 specifically. We did draw a land too. Gotta win with these Meddling Mages, I guess. Karn the Great Creator. Suppose we could Meddling Mage Urza and Caracas it. That's a line. If we really need to get rid of the 1/4. I don't know what other payoffs they have in this deck. They have a lot of lock pieces. Guess we're about to find out. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we just have to name Walking Ballista, because that card is extremely bad for us. I mean, their Trinisphere is untapped, so I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. But okay, they hit a City Trader, so it doesn't matter. But now they can do it again with the Trinisphere 5. They could spin the wheel. Yeah, it looks like this turn we want to Caracas the Urza and Meddling Mage it. the Seeker. Oh dear. That seems pretty spooky. What does their deck do? Okay, they're tutoring for a 2-drop putting on the battlefield. What is this, like Thopter Foundry? Winter Orb. So we only get to untap 1 land, so we can't Meddling Mage and Karakas this Urza. We can Karakas the Urza, clear the Tezzeret, but then they can recast the Urza if they tap down their Winter Orb. No. That's not how that works, right? Wait, is that how it works? How does Winter Orb work? Oh yeah, they do have Mace for Meddling Mage. Yeah, we can't pour it down, so yeah, that's not a good idea. So we just want to play our Meddling Mage and probably put it on Urza Lord High Artificer so we can Karakas it the following turn, but they're gonna like bury us by then. Oh yeah, and I still have a Tingle Archer 1. Duh. I guess we tapped down our Meddling Mage because it's not attacking. Wasteland could have attacked, technically. But Wasteland might be helpful. Might actually prevent them from, like, recasting the Urza? Is that a better plan? Can we play the Wasteland, hold it up, Karakas the Urza? Or am I better off just playing Meddling Mage, naming Urza, playing Wasteland, saying go? Next turn, untapping the Karakas, bouncing the Urza, trying to clear the Tezzeret. I'm really scared of what this Tezzeret's going to get. But if all they could get was a Winter Orb here, it doesn't seem that threatening. They can make a bunch of mana is my concern, is that they can make a bunch of mana with the Urza. So we Karakas the Urza. They can only untap 1 land. We Wasteland the land that they untap. The Tezzeret ticks up. We can't clear it because of the maze. We still have 1 land untapped, so we can tap another land, play the second Meddling Mage. This Tezzeret's on 3. Notably, they can also untap their Mox Opal. This is way more compelling than the... Oh, the time... Oh, I didn't change the stream title. Whoops. Thank you for reminding me. I always forget something. This is tricky. Because this Tezzeret also generates mana by untapping the Mox Opal. But they don't have any mana right now, so they untap 1 land with Wasteland, and the Mox Opal is still only 2 mana. If they tap their Winter Orb, the Winter Orb untaps, and all their lands untap? Is that how the Winter Orb works? Can I get Oracle text on Winter Orb? If Winter Orb is tapped as your untapped step begins, all your lands will untap. Okay, yeah. So they can just float a mana with their Winter Orb when I Karakas the Urza, then all their lands are untap, and I won't be able to keep them off the Urza replay, so that plan's bad. So we just need a Meddling Mage here. Naming Urza Lord High Artificer. And say go. The problem is that they're gonna like get to spin the wheel with their Urza, which is very bad for me, but I think this is our best plan. We need them to just whiff a couple of times. Because I think we also need to Wasteland this Maze of it so we can clear the Tezzeret if it pluses. We untap the our Karakas under the Winter Orb, bounce the Urza. Yeah. Wasteland doesn't do anything because they have a bazillion mana. So we're probably best served aiming this Wasteland at the Maze of Ith with our 2 Meddling Mages. They can't go get like another Tangle Wire because this Tez is only a 2. I was really scared they were going to get like Thopter Foundry and we were just going to die. Looks like they might just be spinning the Urza. Yeah, they're tapping the Transfer first, which is smart. Yeah. They hit a Chalice. That doesn't do anything right now. They can only put it on 0 too, right? They can spin. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so they can only spin once more realistically. Wow. They just played that on 0? That seems wrong. Guess they just wanted the artifact to tap, but don't they like have some relevant 0s in their deck? Whatever. We just really want them to miss this turn. There's an Emery. That's not a hit, per se. Wait, what? Why is there a Chalice trigger? Oh, there's a Chalice on 3, yeah. Whoops. That's fine. I forgot about the Chalice on 3. I was looking at the Chalice on 0. I was like, why is there a Chalice trigger? Alright, Chalice on 3, nice. So they're untapping 2 mana to spin the wheel again using the Winter Orb? That lets me untap all my lands if they want to spin the wheel that way. They're playing land, sure. Now they can do it without tapping the Winter Orb. If they miss one more time, we might be able to be in this game. I don't know what other payoffs they have in their deck. 3 ball. Yeah, that's fine. Chalice counters that one too. Caracas the Urza. Imagine they'll tap Winter Orb in response here. Yep. Get another Wasteland. We get to Wasteland this Maze. We get to go to combat and clear the Tezzeret. They have 4 mana if I Wasteland this Ancient Tomb, so I don't think Wastelanding does anything. I think I'll hold on to it. I don't know how much of their deck is still castable at this stage. You got a lot of mana. They're casting something. If they have like a Walking Ballista, I think we just lose the game immediately. What's this? 5 mana, but only 1 blue? 6 mana. It's not Ballistics, they haven't fully tapped out yet. But they would have, if it's 6 mana spell, they would have just tapped the seats, right? I don't know what's happening. I'm scared, but I don't know exactly what I should be scared of. But its deck has a lot of weird cards. Like, seems like mono blue. Prison. Oh, it is Ballista. Well, yeah, we're just dead. Unfortunate. I don't know why they didn't just play it for, 4. Seems like a much better number than 3, but yeah, we can't beat that. All we have is Meddling Mages in play, and we can't do anything through this Chalice on 3. Nice. The force that gets countered by Chalice, and also already too late for the Ballista. But yeah, they just get to ping off my Meddling Mage that's on Urza, and then we lose. We could have wastelanded this city in their upkeep to prevent this for a turn, but I think we're just dead anyway. Prevent them from at least playing the Urza this turn. I don't think we really could have stopped it. I think, yeah, the construct's a 10-10, jeez. Yeah, we're really hoping to fade Walking Ballista for like a couple more turns. That plan did not work out. Yeah, not gonna do it. Alright, being on the play should be definitely nice in this matchup. A lot of tools that I think are very good against what my opponent's doing. We boarded pretty properly, I think. Kira is decent against Walking Ballista. They did not show us any interaction, really. Besides the Ballista itself. Don't have a lot of good answers for Ballista other than, like, Force of Willing it. Or Meddling Maging it. Maybe that's enough. Kira definitely makes it harder to Ballista your stuff, but would there be a reasonable cut for it? Maybe a Thalia? Thalia seems decent on the play. My opponent has a lot of non-creature spells. Is it better than a Plow? I don't think so. I almost want the 4th Plow. My opponent has like a lot of like reasonable things to plow. Urza constructs. Urza himself. Emery. I think we can just hit submit again. I would like to play first. Sheesh. 4 lands, uncastable force, and 2 Thalias. Yeah, not quite. Alright, this'll do. I think we're gonna bottom the Venser here, maybe? We got Meddling Mage on turn 2, we have Force of Will. Might need to pitch the True Name to it, but I think we want 3 lands, especially with Port. Been forcing a chalice on one? No. Yeah, I saved the force for something actually relevant. Ooh, Spellquiller's nice too. Meddling Mage Karn again, I think. We could Meddling Mage Ballista potentially, but Karn's a scary thing that can play off of 4 mana here. We'll be able to hold up Queller for like an Urza or something in the future. I don't even know how many Ballistas are in their deck, so... Karn's a reasonable name here. Against, like, the Soul and Mox Opal deck. Definitely just pitching the True Name to this Force if there's something scary coming down. We need to hold up Queller next turn. A little bit suspicious when you, like, play your port and say go, and then, oh, wow. Wow, aggressive. Yeah, that resolves. I'm fine with that. Maze of Ith Winter Orb, not exactly a combo. I don't think I want to port. Yeah, sure. Can't do that every turn. You got a Winter Orb to play. Because I think I want to be able to hold up Spellquiller next turn, so I don't think porting this Ancient Tomb gets me places. Like I said, there's not a whole lot that they can do that's threatening off this Ancient Tomb. Like, they have Ballista for 2, we can't force it. Opponent's still... Yeah, opponent's been chalicing for 1 this whole match. I mean, I guess they chaliced for 3 last game, and it was really good. But yeah, that chalice for 1, especially on the draw, just not threatening. Yeah, this 3-ball also not threatening. Makes my force worse, but... We're also holding a Spellquiller and stuff, so I'm like, yeah, this is all fine. Like, they're under their own Winter Orb, too. Like, they probably can't even cast anything next turn. Probably just Spellquillering, like, anything. Float a mana, play your other City of Traitors. Jeez. Please play a Ballista for 2. God, that'd be so good. Please. Come on, Ballista for 2. Wow. 3 mana Mox Opal, huh? I did say I was Quellering about anything. I don't know if I meant Spellquillering on Mox Opal. As much as I don't like passing with all my mana up here, I think we're good. I think I'll pass on this one. We don't have enough lands, so I might, like, if I Queller that, I might go Shields down for an actual scary spell. D&T, some mana-denial attack. Queller their Mox Opal. More lands is good. We could probably just start porting the City of Traders and then, like, win the game from there, honestly. Sure. What you got? 3 mana? Emery. Fine. I don't even want to spell Queller this. But I do want to clock my opponent. I should tap that like not an idiot. I don't know why I tapped like that. Don't think it matters. I think I'm just untapping port, and then like the game's gonna end because I'm gonna hit them for 4 and then port them, and then the game's over. Tabernacle. Oh dear. Opponent really is a prison deck. Jesus. Well, we get to pay for both of these creatures. We're not porting, but we get to pay for both of my creatures this turn at least. And then I guess we ditch the Meddling Mage unless we draw land. We could actually just ditch the Spell Queller and the Emery would just go away forever, right? Because they can't cast it into their Trinisphere. So ditching the Spell Queller might actually be a better play. Land, dicks. Winter Orb, Tabby, Chalice, Trinisphere, Opal deck. Yeah, opponent's deck is straight out of like 2002. Mazavith, Tabernacle. Wow, untapping the Mazavith. Aggressive. Do they just have a bunch more land drops? Alright, so my opponent's 1 mana up, so I'd rather sack the Spell Queller and just let them not be able to cast their Emery. And keep the Meddling Mage around it just in case they do have plans to cast a Karn. Like untap the Ancient Tomb, play a Soul Land, slam Karn. Spell Queller's not doing much for me anymore besides flying over potential blockers. I guess if they untap Maze every turn, they can actually just Maze my only creature, and like I can't really get through damage. We draw lands in the interim though to potentially beat that. Don't they still have to pay 3 for him? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We sack the Spell Queller so the Emery just goes away. So we don't pay for the Spell Queller here. They get to cast the Emery, but can't cast the Emery because of the Trinisphere. And we keep the Meddling Mage, because I think the Meddling Mage is more important. You draw a Wasteland? Yeah, Wasteland would be nice. Just hitting a couple land drops and then drawing like untapping a port or something could also do it. You can't cast that Emery. You can't cast anything. There's a Trinisphere in play. And they also have to keep untapping their Mazavith to keep fogging my Meddling Mage. Now we need to cast this TN in for the win. Yeah, should have cast the TN in instead of the Spell Queller. Play around Mazavith. Yeah, so now the plan is who like draws more lands, I guess. Well, seems to be my opponent. 6 is not a lot of life to use that Ancient Tomb though. Auto yield to this. Land? Dicks. This could go poorly if my opponent just, like, rips a couple lands off the top and I don't. Yeah, I don't think I want to not keep the Meddling Mage. Just, like, try to untap my lands to do something else. That seems, like, really hard to actually get going in the face of, like, Winter Orb Tabernacle. We could just draw some number of lands. Eventually we can start gaining mana by hitting land drops, so it doesn't necessarily need to be wasteland. So we can like untap pay for the melee mage, untap the port one turn, port down their Maze of Ith or something, hit them. Yeah. Or running land drops to like cast TNN or something. Ooh, yeah, there's a land drop. Gotta draw them Lotus Petals, yeah. Lotus Petal not very good in the face of Trinisphere though. Gotta draw Simian Spirit Guide. So, like, if we hit one more land drop, we could potentially hit them for 2 and, like, start severely turning off these Ancient Tombs. You generate land drops, you're not porting them. Yeah, we're probably just playing True Name and killing them in 2 turns. Especially because their answers to True Name are probably pretty limited. Probably, like... Ooh, tapping the Ancient Tomb, huh? What do they have here? Grim Monolith. That doesn't seem great for them to cast, considering they used their Ancient Tomb for it. Considered that as a fair blood you should be incorporating. I have not considered that, but thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, so we don't even want to fetch, because we want to draw more lands. Ooh, Wasteland is very good. So we definitely just Wasteland this Maze of Ith, right? Hit them down to 2. Them untapping Ancient doesn't even do anything at that point. I think there's a world where we can Wasteland the Tabernacle to actually start casting our creatures, but it's so slow. I think I just want to make my opponent dead. Yeah, untapping them Ancient Tomb just literally doesn't do anything. Because they're at 2 life. They need to cast something off of a land drop that they might have, and this Grim Monolith, and this Mox Opal. Which doesn't cast, like, Urza as a blocker. You can cast an Emery as a blocker, but that's just a chump blocker. And it taps their Grim Monolith. Ballista for 2 is... a little bit annoying. Not the worst, though, because it has to trade and they tap their Grim Monolith. We have to pay for our Meddling Mage for another turn, though. But they're down to just their Mox Opal mana sources now. Because they have to block my Meddling Mage, or, like, double ping it or whatever. Trade. I think trading is better than not trading, because then I can just stop paying for my Meddling Mage. Oh, we could have just cast in. We can't cast in this turn or anything. We want to stop paying for our Meddling Mage. Oh, yeah, sure, whatever. You don't like these cards? What could possibly be wrong about these cards? Well, there's 2 mana. Land, not a land. Just sack it. Just sack it, and then I only have 2 mana up. Unless I top deck a land. So I just pass turn to cast the True Name next turn. I don't understand how I'm casting True Name that turn. I have 2 mana. I guess I should have cracked the Misty for this Tundra, but whatever. He's saying that to say the following turn. Yeah, but then there's, like, they get to keep a Ballista. I don't know. I could just... Wait, what do you mean? Just sack it, leave the Ballista on 2? Yeah, I guess maybe. Whatever. Let me cast this True Name. And hope they don't have... I don't know. something. Yeah, cast the Trim turn earlier. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's correct. We don't need the Ballista on board. And if they want to keep the Ballista on board, like, they have to pay for it with their Mox Opal. Yeah, that's probably right. Just let my Meddling Mage die. It's a weird match. Blue, mono blue with fetches, Urza, like, prison. Karn basically did nothing on that board. Yeah, and like they weren't like nowhere near casting Karn at that stage. If I'd kept Spellcaller instead, they would have died, notably. But there was a point where they might have been able to like cast Karn and done relevant stuff. I think keeping Meddling Mage instead of Spellcaller was like maybe fine. I don't know if the Karn mattered at that point. Yeah, it turns out when you're making your symmetrical hate pieces asymmetrical by way of, like, Urza, and you don't have the Urza in play, your hate pieces are just symmetrical, and they're not nearly as good. Win the die roll. We'll keep this. Thalia or Mom to Thalia. Meddling Mage. Maybe a True Name. Seems pretty strong. I think this wants to get a Tundra, so we lead on this. Also, we make them think we're on normal death and taxes. Misty Rainforest. What's this gonna get? Plow? Yeah. Looks like Miracles. Yeah, we definitely just jam Thalia here. Fetch Tundra, jam Thalia. What does this Meddling Mage go on? If we had the Mom online, we could put it on like Terminus and feel a lot safer. So we have like Mom for Plows, we have Thalia, we have like Meddling Mage for Terminus. But if we just like put Meddling Mage on Terminus, we're still like eating shit to like more Swords to Plowshares in the future. Does this mean we're more Meddling Mage for Snowco in Texas? Thanks for the 6-month resub, Storm Thief. One day I'll play Snowco Taxes for the memes. This deck was only partly for the memes, though. It was, like, a little bit serious. Just second plow. Oh, nice. 2-mana Astrolabe. You love to see it. I'd also love to see Wasteland. 2-mana Aether Vial. Love to see that a lot less, certainly. Just play Astrolabe in stock D&T Flicker with Wisps. What am I doing here? Am I just like putting Meddling Mage on Swords of Plowshares and just like eating shit to a Terminus? So if the Meddling Mage doesn't even like attack well versus them because it like just runs into the Meddling Vial is not a bad idea. Just like runs into Ice Waddles. Yeah, I'm kinda interested in getting this turn 3 Vial going. We have this Mother of Runes. And if we can get to the point where we do have active Mom, then Meddling Mage on Terminus is a lot more desirable. And they can't like Oko me this turn or punish me for having a weaker board state right now. Well, that's horrifying. I guess we're just gonna put this Meddling Mage on, like, Swords of Plowshares or Brainstorm or some shit. Because we don't care about Terminus anymore. Ah, yes, my Hallowed Fountain. Here to save the day, 5th Tundra. Definitely not gonna get punished in a damage race against a Monastery Mentor. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely just playing True Name Nemesis. Like a Hallowed Fountain. Alright, so the Hallowed Fountain's like semi-legitimate. Yeah, this attack's free here. This deck is really, really mana hungry, and I'm already playing 4 Tundras. It was either this or another fetch. Another fetch might be right, but it's like pretty marginal. I honestly think the Hallowed Fountain is less stupid than it looks. It does look kind of stupid, though. The old True Nemesis, Mother of Runes plan. Oh, I for sure acknowledge that it's stupid. Absolutely. Now we just need to raise some Monastery Mentor. Luckily we have a Thalia in play, so it's like not as hard as it could be. Astrolabe, sure. Hopefully they just like don't have another land drop. That'd be nice. If only. Dang, unlucky. Is this Plowothalia? Really hope it's just... Okay, it's just a Ponder. That's nice. At least. There are 2 monks, but we have a True Name. And they're at 14. So what does this Meddling Mage go on? Probably Swords to Plowshares? Can't attack. Put it on Savage Beating. Could go on Oko, yeah. Oko's not unreasonable. Yeah, well, I guess we do have Mom versus Plow, but I was thinking about using Mom semi-aggressively to try to stymie damage and, like, try to kill my opponent with his True Name. Ooh. Brazen Borrower's interesting. We could Brazen Borrow the Mentor and then Meddling Mage Mentor. And then hope that they didn't put a Terminus on top of their deck with this Ponder. Man, that would be a blowout. It's not unreasonable. And just try to kill them before they can Terminus me. You can draw step the Mage. That's true. So it's not as much of a punish. And if they reveal Terminus, we can just put it on Terminus instead. Alright, I like this plan. Attack with True Name plus Thalia. If they want to, like, stack block, obviously, we just, like, punish them to shit with Karaka. So we attack with both. And then brazenly borrow this Mentor. They either chump block the Thalia or don't block it at all. That's fine. Yeah, they can't, like, yeah, they can't block in any reasonable capacity. You can have this Monastery Mentor back, opponent. You just be my guest. Put that one back in your hand. Draw a step. Monastery Mentor. Feeling pretty good. Next turn we could potentially like Recruiter for a Vendilion click and use that to play around. Terminus again too. Whoa! Suddenly Bant Stoneblade, suddenly Bant Mentor Blade. They probably don't even have Terminus. The Stoneforge is a little bit far for mattering at this point though. They got a Batter Skull deal. Does it even matter? Are they going to be alive long enough for this Batter Skull? Yeah, good thing I didn't name Terminus. Yeah, that's for sure. Suddenly Bant Mentor Blade. Does that mean they have the GJ in hand? I don't know. GJ's like hard for them to get working because I have Mom. Verdant Catacombs? What is this fetch? How many colors are they playing? Yeah, I think I'm just going to recruit her for a click here. I could click them sorcery speed to just make sure they can't batter skull me or something. What is this Verdant Catacombs doing? More green. Yeah, but like they have like black. There's like 12 fetches they can play before they want a Verdant Catacombs, right? 4 Misty, 4 Tundra, and like 4 Windswept Heath. Unless they're actually playing black. Do I really want to just Recruiter main phase click them? I kind of do. If you swing Mage and Thalia, you have lethal with Borrower. They're going to 8 here, so yeah, Borrower. I mean, yeah, they're going to 8, so Borrower plus. You're really questioning your opponent's mana base and you threw it to the run 2 minutes. Hey, my mana base is actually fine. Yeah, the Mentor doesn't really matter. I think I just want to click them. Unlove who splits and click the Krogus up. I mean, we have a Mom up. Like, what are they going to do? Double plow it through Athalia? When we also just have infinite other ways to lethal them? Alright, well, let's attack first and see what happens. Single jump block. They could have a Force of Will, yeah, that's true. What's Mage on? Mage is on their Monastery Mentor that they showed us. So this does mean we have a lethal with Brazen Borrower plus True Name next turn, and we could just, like, Vile Recruiter, do whatever. What else could we Recruiter? We have 19 minutes, so we're doing good. Can't really recruit or anything else interesting. Second True Name wouldn't be bad, because it blocks. I don't like just casting Recruiter by getting second True Name. I guess Viling and True Name would be better. Or Viling and Recruiter would be better, except against a board wipe. Because at least we resolve the 1-1 into their Force of Will. Could also just like Meddling Mage something. Could also just click this Batter Skull on their hand, but they're you could have interaction past having this Batter Skull, right? I don't think my decision matters a ton. Since you can't Vile a Borrower. Yeah, but we don't really. I'm not sure if I'm viling Borrower, or like if I'm playing the Borrower this turn, right? We could also. I kind of like clicking them just to make sure that we're not going to get wrecked by something stupid. Batter Skull really doesn't matter, so do I want to do it on draw step? And just like let them put in the Batter Skull and then die? Yeah, probably. Yeah, like Force of Will, sure. The Force of Will doesn't matter when I do it, though. Doing it on their turn is actually better because it forces them to pay more mana. Wrecked by something stupid like Verdant Catacombs at your band. I don't know. Like, maybe we'll get to see their hand of, like, Baleful Strix or whatever. Yeah, sure, go for it. You can have a Batter Skull. Really don't care. You're easily dead with a Batter Skull in play, right? As the board sits. Still dead. Force Will for the click. I think you might still be dead through that. Alright, so Their hand is no castable spells, and they're extremely dead on board to True Name Nemesis plus Mom and Vendilion Click. So yeah, you can keep all that stuff. Yep, you can have all that. That's fine. And attack for 6. Happens to be my opponent's exact life total. Weird. So they are, like, very Bant Miracles-y, down to the, like, Monetary Mentors and Icefang Quaddles, but they also just have Stoneforge? Interesting. This card seems like it sucks. I definitely want this. Don't think I really want to fight a GT battle. I think my equipment might just be bad. Deputy's probably pretty good. Extra forces might not be bad. Let's figure out what is bad. Our removal, actually, hang on. Our removal might be okay. They have Mentor. This Lavinia is bad. Maybe we don't want these forces. Maybe we could afford to shave like a plow. This is in your challenge deck. It's a 15-card sideboard. It also has a 4th Meddling Mage instead of the one the Mariner guy, whatever, the Modern Horizons changeling thing. I don't know. I kind of like the rest of our deck here. Shaving a Thalia might not actually be unwarranted if they're leaning more towards the Blade side than the Miracle side. We saw a lot of Miracles-esque cards. Thalia is good at attacking into like Icefang Quaddles and stuff. Meddling Mage actually looking like not great here. They have a lot of things. You can't attack into 2 mana at any point because of the threat of Snapcaster Mage or Icefang Quaddle. I mean, I guess Meddling Mage and like just Plow or Oko is still pretty strong, and just like letting it sit. And what would we be porting in? Like a Force of Will? Doesn't seem that great. I think I'm fine with this configuration. That Brazen Bar was a sick draw. Jesus. Being able to Brazen Bar the Mentor and then Meddling Mage, it was very sweet. Alright, this hand is probably good enough. It's a little bit loose, but our Judgment is very powerful. And True Name is a good Magic card, so... True Name's a pretty busted Magic card, as it turns out. Whoa, they do have black! I knew it. They're just four-color Oko Mentor Blade. Turn 1 Brainstorm go. Just a little bit. Oh, that was dumb. I should have played the Tundra. Shit. If I port, I don't have to turn 3 True Name. Fuck. I'm so used to like muscle memorying my basics into play, but that was definitely a play Tundra moment. That was really bad. Jesus, suddenly a completely different deck. Suddenly bug. What is happening? Dead? Yeah, sure. Fatal Push. What on earth is my opponent on? I assume they're thinking similar things about me. Yeah, we're like definitely gonna port here and look like an idiot when we can't cast this turn in next turn. God. Tilt. Me being bad at Magic. Casting Naked Soul Harder seems pretty bad too. Whoa. Suddenly porting them again doesn't seem so bad. They just straight up didn't hit that land drop. Deal. in. I think I'm gonna single port and cast like a True Name the following turn. But since we can't port, or we can't cast True Name and hold up a port this turn, I think I like just continually keep them off of like casting a Ponder or something. They would have cast it last turn though, right? Because they left their Underground Sea up. Yeah, move to discard. Oof. Ooh, never mind. We're just gonna play this Thalia. Just really grind it in. I actually didn't need to fetch there because we're not going to use all of our mana. Could have fetched my Hallowed Fountain. What a fool I was. Maybe like Force of Will this. Probably should have tapped differently. Although, again, I don't think I'm guessing True Name. Force pitch Force. Do I fire back? I could pitch the Soul Herder. It's like not good. Oh yeah, I'd probably want to keep it for. Yeah, but I could have just like held the fetch and fetched on end step if I didn't have to hold up the Force. Yeah, I'm kind of into forcing back. Pitching this useless Soul Herder. Soul Herder Fencer is kind of hot, but it was either pitching the Soul Herder or pitching the Fencer, so I think I'd rather keep the Fencer. No, more. What the? They have so many black lands. Where did all these come from? Ooh, another Force is nice. Oh, we don't get to hold it up this turn because we're almost assuredly casting this True Name Nemesis. So I think I want a better clock than 2 damage a turn. Transitional sideboard. Hey, at least if they have Land Plague Engineer, we don't just get absolutely demolished because they have to choose which of our creatures they want to kill. Every turn after this, we get to hold up double port plus Force of Will, which is pretty good. Yeah, we can't force now, but I think porting's better. Decay the Thalia, yeah, sure. We weren't forcing that one. Playing second True Name feels a little scary. But it also is really good. Also, we do have Force of Will to like, fight a Plague Engineer. Do it, coward. Alright, yeah, we're definitely doing it. We're giving him the business. We're just gotta get my opponent dead before they start hitting land drops. Man, this True Name card really fucked up. Cast a Brainstorm here. Yep. Well, hopefully they don't have Plague Engineer and Forceful. Suddenly things could get very bad if they have that. How would you play True Name? True Name isn't even like top 3 on D&T's Nemesis list anymore. That's true, they did Force pitching Force. Yeah, nice Plague Engineer, nerd. I came prepared. Don't force back. Don't force back. Don't force back. Don't force back. Thank God. Also don't have second engineer. I can't beat that. I think playing the Thalia is better than double porting. Double porting plays around a second Plague Engineer, though, but Thalia means that we have lethal on the following turn. But they probably have, like, removal and stuff. Right? Opponent is... Yeah. Opponent didn't produce a single black land game 1, then didn't produce a single white land game 2. Just, like, genuinely just boarded into, like, bug control. I think I'm just double porting. Oh, nice, they conceded. We did it! Look at that! Screen. I hate this stupid window. I wanted to screenshot this and tweet about how I've become the enemy. If you had a game 3, you see the wrong sideboard plan. Amazing. Alright, gonna do a tweet. Yeah, what a wild 2 games. It was like Bant Mentor Oko Blade, and then game 2 it was just bug control. Fucking wild. They ban Astrolabe. Yeah, I would put Oko, Engineer, and Astrolabe as like 3 enemies of D&T before True Name, honestly. Well, realistically, I'd put Oko, and then I'd put Oko a second time, and then I'd put Oko like a third time, and probably a couple more times, and then Astrolabe and Engineer. The band breach just spite me. Actually makes Legacy more affordable. I don't even know that that's true. Like, now Miracles still has to play 1 Tundra like they were before, and also has to play a Tropical Island. Like, you can play, like, the 4-color, like, blue-black X piles that I guess are cheaper now. Those, like, have, like, not even been super playable decks. I played against this opponent. I played against this opponent in the challenge. I absolutely don't remember what they were playing, though. This game does not seem super good. This hand seems much better. Probably bottomless Venser. Seems real slow. Just fetch Plains, play Aether Vial here. Though we have a lot of double blue, so it's a little bit risky. But I think what we want to protect our mana base. Also likely like not casting these things, we're probably just vialing most of them in anyway. It's a possibility I wanted like Tundra rather than Plains Island here. Forest, Pithing Needle. Oh, this is my post opponent that smushed my face in, I guess. Well, this is suddenly bad. At least we can, like, petty theft this Pithing Needle for a turn to, like, vial in a 3-drop or something. At some point. Wait. I literally put this at the bottom of my deck, shuffled my deck, and immediately fucking drew it. Jesus. What a tilt. Yeah, this is my mono green 12 post opponent that crushed me. And this hand does not look like it's set up to beat mono green 12 post. Yeah, especially not with these draws. Still get to like make a 3-drop next turn. Just instead brazen borrow this Pithing Needle. Would much rather like also have a 2 to Violin and then untap it than Violin a 3 or something, but yeah, we're just gonna get fucking roasted here. We're gonna draw like Port too, so like can't cast anything relevant. You can have that back. Really wish I had like a Meddling Mage or something, or like a Thalia. But I don't. We could like Recruiter a Meddling Mage and put it on like Primeval Titan. My opponent was on Primeval Titan Cloud Post. Primeval Titan's a scary play that they can do next turn. They have 2, 4, 5, green source is 6. Primeval Titan, very bad news. Probably better than like True Name. It's still 3 a turn. Like obviously a worse 3 a turn, but like they also have like Golos and shit, but like we can't beat everything. Play Lavinia if Lavinia actually stopped creature spells. But it only stops non-creatures. Can't cast non-creatures with Cure Makos. Stops their summoning traps. Yeah, they could. If they have summoning trap, they can also just like play land and then like just hardcast a summoning trap for Primeval Titans. Crop rotation. Oh dear. This doesn't seem like Primeval Titans now. It just seems like we're gonna get Eldrazi and die, but that's my life. I'm ready. Cast your Ulamog opponent. Ballista? Oh, just Ulamog. Alright, cool. Both teams short hard. Yeah, this deck does not have a good plan for beating 12 bows, that's for sure. Don't have any like Armageddons or stuff. We only have 3 Wastelands and 3 Ports too, so attacking their mana is not something we're especially good at. Just really, really not well set up for the matchup, certainly. And then I hit 2 different 12 post decks yesterday's challenge. Lavinia is not great, but like it does stop whatever it's called, the trap that I was just talking about, summoning trap. So it's like probably better than some other random shit in my deck, like Kira. Probably don't want any of these plows, right? I'd rather have like a Kira than a plow. Or am I even plow? I guess like you can plow like Goloses and stuff, which isn't like the worst thing. My opponent can actually activate Golos. Their Goloses are all exclusively for like getting Caracas to replay Golos a bunch or just to like fetch up more cloud posts. I think this looks okay enough. Would like to play first, yes. We have a Wasteland. If there's any an Aether File, easy keep, but I don't think it's good enough. We have like good cards in the matchup, but like lands that can't cast them, and not a lot of them. Alright, we can keep 1 land Aether Vial with this Force of Will. Lavinia or Thalia. They both kind of suck. Thalia is probably better. It's worse with my Force of Will plan, but we can just freely fetch our Tundras and shit. My opponent like turn 1 Pithing Needles. I guess. Oh no, we just pitched the Deputy. Keeping the Lavinia might have been like keeping the card that was better versus Force of Will, or like if we need to cast Force of Will. But I think Deputy Attention's like not great anyway. doke. Forest of Asuva stage depths. Rotation plus Veil. Yeah, Veil's definitely a card we gotta be worried about. Ooh. The Port Thalia Force of Will thing kind of awkward here, but I think I just want to put this in sorcery speed. See what they have. I don't think they're casting a lot that's scary for this amount of mana that we'd like want to force. They like crop rotation here if they wanted. Should be kind of scary, and I would like to force that, but now we get to hold up Spell Queller. Ooh. Could port them or hold up multiple Spell Quellers. We're probably just going to port them. If they have enough for us, I think we're going to start porting this Cloud Post. If they have like more... If they have like a Glimmer Post or a Cloud Post or something, we don't want to like give them that mana acceleration here. Come on, play your Elvish Rejuvenator. Put your Cavern on Elf. That's on Giant anyway. Yeah, gimme. Give me that. Give me that Elvish Rejuvenator. Ooh, Wasteland's real nice. It's probably incorrect for me to tap that. There's no way they're casting a Primeval Titan this turn. If they have like another Rejuvenator. I don't really want to put in this other Spell Queller, but maybe I do have to, just to put more pressure on them. Maze of Ith means we're only dealing 2 a turn. Probably need to hold on to this Deputy for Forcible fodder. I think we just want to put pressure on them. Let's draw like Recruiter the Guard or something. That's not great. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we definitely just need to kill my opponent here. Could actually port the Maze of Ith here. Hit them for 6, put them to 5. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana here. We have a Force of Will for like a potential crop rotation or something too. This is a... But so the 1, 2, 3, 4. So they can't accelerate into like a Primeval Titan or something. Unban Mental Misstep, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Please don't unban Mental Misstep. It's like a little risky. It is just a 3-turn clock where we're just porting them. Poor Maze of Ith hit for 6. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. We have a Force of Will. They have like an Ancient Tomb in their deck, but they usually don't. If they have a Crop Rotation, we just Force Will the Crop Rotation. So they go down on mana and can't cast the thing. I think this play is reasonable. We'll see if we get horrendously punished for it. It's not like even Primeval Titan would win them the game. Got game 2. Game 3 is definitely going to be trickier. We don't always draw Port Wasteland. And we're on the draw now. But yeah. We just want to kill them as fast as possible and also disrupt them as much as possible, which is harder for this deck to do on the draw, certainly. We also have to be wary of, like, whatever that thing's called, Summoning Trap. If we, like, counter an Elvish Rejuvenator to stall them or something, and then we just get, like, Summoning Trap and get dunked. We're just resubmitting. And just drawing our hand of, like, 3 Wastelands and an Aether Vial. That's not even close to what I requested. Alright, this hand's probably just gonna have to be enough. Put back the 4th land, we have Wasteland, and we have the ability to cast a Meddling Mage and, like, have a Force of Will. Ooh. This Wasteland, or this Aether Vial is really nice. Do I want to play the Aether Vial here? Compass I don't think does anything super scary on this turn. They gain 3 colorless mana if they have Waste on. It does prevent, like, Vesuva and, like, plays around Crop Rotation and stuff. Alright, fine. Yeah, it's probably correct. Yeah. Map. Am I supposed to Force of Will this? Am I supposed to sit and tank for a long time and, like, very much advertise that my opponent has Force of Will? Or that their opponent has Force of Will? This is, like, mildly threatening, but, like, I guess it's, like, not getting any better. Would I like, this is, you never get to force lands. I guess that's not unreasonable. This deck looks like a lot of the polarized matchup. No, it hasn't actually felt that bad. My one concern is, like, the very fair creature decks I have not played it against enough of, like the Thalia Mirrors. Force of Negation. We gotta pitch our only threat. Counter their next thing. Yeah, I think Force will. I'm not good. The one thing that I'm very bad at as a Magic player is, like, assessing when to counter what spells. Yeah, this pile has a lot of cards that I don't think you would be very into, certainly. Do I just put this Meddling Mage on, like, Elvish Rejuvenator? They haven't done anything. They're on 2 mana here. Like, we're pretty far away from the Primeval Titan stage. We could put on, like, Crop Rotation or something, too. We need to hold up Force of Negation next turn, though. Because we just have 3 lands. So Crop Rotation has a very, like, limited window to be relevant. I don't hate just sticking this thing on Elvish Rejuvenator. That's the card, right? There are a lot of Elvish somethings. Elvish Rejuvenator. Look at your top 5 cards of your library. Pick any land. Yeah. White, blue. Should put it on 1 spawn time. Found Cloudburst. It's scary. They have 4 mana now. Well, now we have forces, which isn't bad. Would like to have more of a clock, but take what we can get. Oh, well, would like to have any clock. Gross Grip. Well, not countering that. Literally can't counter that. That was a very bad draw. Definitely don't like having a bunch of these in my deck. Explore. Do I just Force of Negation this? It's just, they're just cantripping, right? No, I don't think I counter this because we also... Okay, yeah, we can just hardcast Force of Negation on this. gonna hardcast this Force of Will and continue to not have any threats because of this maze. We have this fucking Source of Plowshares in our hand. Uh-oh, that's bad. They're almost at Primeval Titan mana. Alright, well, hopefully they cast something between the CMCs of 1 through 4 next turn. It was Force of Will or Primeval Titan if we need to, but they don't have it. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, and they pass with 4 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. That's right, right? I'm not crazy. They're just passing with 9 mana up. So their hand is just like all Eldrazi. It's not 4 lands because they missed a land drop. I think I just have to flash in the spell color regardless, because I need to pressure my opponent. I need to, like, if I draw any land or blue card, my Force is back online. Maybe it's Summoning Trap. And they're just holding up the mana here. Yeah, it's probably Summoning Trap. No, I'm dumb. Oh, it's just crop rotation. Sure. What is, yeah. They already have a jillion mana. Oh, yeah. That tracks. Yeah, now we're probably dead. Jeez, getting super punished for having these plows in my deck still. Yeah, now we're just dead, right? They have infinity mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they just will log me. This game. What's the 15th cyber card? The GT. Oh wow, they're just gonna get Golos? Didn't they have mana to fucking Ulamog me? Whatever. We're still unbelievably dead. There's no way we're winning this game. We don't have, like, Armageddons in our deck. They just have infinite mana. Yeah, resolves. Get a Caracas? I don't know. More Cloud Post? Sure, why not? Got him. How are they going to beat this? If that was a Wasteland, it's not a Rashadan Port, we might have actually been able to do something because they went and got Golos for some reason. But now, like, we can't port because they're just going to activate the eye in response and just crush me. And hold up our Force of Will, and then let the Ulamog and or Emrakul cast trigger destroy me. And also, we can't counter the Emrakul. Seems pretty good. Yeah, that guy beat the shit out of me in a very similar fashion. I lost game 1, won game 2, and lost game 3 during the challenge. This deck is definitely, like, super not well set up to fight against mono green 12 post at all. It's possible I fucked up that line where I flashed in the Queller instead, but I don't know. It's possible they had Summoning Trap. It's possible they had Crop Rotation, and then, like, maybe this was a player in the Crop Rotation. But we just have absolutely no clock because of the Maze of Ith, which was, like, hugely problematic. So I just don't think there were a lot of good lines for us to take there. This deck definitely wants, like, Armageddon or Cataclysm or some bullshit if we want to, like, actually fight those matchups. I think those are honestly some of the only realistic cards that we could play. if you guys can hear Lily snoring, but she is just totally conked out. She snores so loud. Is this game still open? What does this say? This chat log is from when I was playing against the... Oh, you guys can't see that. Whatever. I still have the chat log open from my game against 4-color Bant, Bug, Mentor Blade, whatever. Yeah, this deck honestly hasn't felt unreasonable. They're just like, every time I play a game, well, not every time, but a lot of the times you play a game, you're like, wow, I'm really enjoying having the access to these blue cards, making these matchups that are like suddenly not great a lot better. I don't know about the mono blue Urza prison thing. That was kind of weird, just in general. But like against that like 4-color like nonsense pile, man, True Name so good. Doesn't Texas would kill that with a threat like True Name. Jesus. And just like having access to Force of Will to like not just say, wow, I hope my opponent doesn't have and Plague Engineer or I lose the game. Because now you can actually, like, stop them from having Plague Engineer. Just some really interesting lines that you get access to by playing different Magic cards. Sand has basically no plays until turn 3. We get to play a Hallowed Fountain. We get to play a Azorius Guildgate if we want. We are on the draw. We have a Brazen Borrow as a turn 2 play. I'm going to put a mulligan to 6. I think this deck can definitely have better openers. It can also have worse openers. I think this is a keep, though. Put back a Flooded Strand. Keep 4-land Mom Thalia. We have a Wasteland at least, and we have like a turn 1 and turn 2. We're playing the game. Whoa, Tropical Island Aether Vial. We're both playing weird Aether Vial decks. Really don't want to Wasteland that. Because they have an Aether Vial in play and I don't. I think I just want to develop my Mother of Runes. What does Tropical Island Aether Vial mean? Scalding Tarn, alright, sure. Yeah, really didn't want to draw more lands, but okay. Probably means bullshit, yeah. Probably. Probably just gonna like Plague Engineer me. I'm gonna cry deeply. Yeah, they're on Bant. Some sort of nonsense. Sure, hardcast the days. Yeah, alright. That's a thing that happened. Binder, that would explain the invocation days. Either Rose and Ombo, it's a 3-mana discount. You gotta pay the upfront mana cost eventually. Unless you're discarding it with your Dak Phaeton. Brainstorm. Opponent just showed us a lot of non-creature spells in their Aether Vial deck. Don't want to Wasteland them because they have this Aether Vial, but like, the Soldier like literally can't even exile something. So we can't even make it bigger. Because if we exile the mom, it loses, it gains Summoning Sickness again. Sometimes Solar not the best card in this deck, certainly. No land drop. Alright, maybe I want to Wasteland them. Jesus. Oh no, they did have a land drop. They dazed me. No, they hard they hardcast the days. I'm gonna waste on the Trop. D&T doesn't play for Wingmare. At some points in the timeline it did, but as the hate for one toughness creatures ebbs and flows in the meta, Wingmare gains or loses effectiveness. Also, being able to attack. What the? Oh, wait, we're playing against that one deck, Cephalid Breakfast, right? That's how this thing works. I don't know if I finished my sentence about Bringmare or not. I got distracted by Shaman and Core. Wow, unlucky to hit a land drop. Wait. Didn't they brainstorm on turn 3 and then like miss a land drop? And then like just play the Pluto Delta this turn? Yeah, we are in fact dead. Don't we like see their whole deck or something though? They have to mill their whole deck. It was basically you tie this turn. Sure. Go for it, opponent. I want to see your deck. Worldly Tutor. Ooh, jeez. Need to figure out what my plan is against this deck. It's a lot of Worldly Tutors. They're really all in on the combo. Like, do they have other pieces? There's the Thassa's Oracle. Yeah, their deck is literally all Tutors and Brainstorm. There's the Dread Return. Yeah, you get a Thassa's Oracle. Okay, you did it. What if I just like had a Force of Will? Would they just die here? Weird. Alright. Does this do anything? Kind of. It stops Dread Return if they don't have 4 lands in play. It always stops Dread Return. It's actually not unreasonable. Potentially. Doesn't stop Dread Return if Thalia in play, but Thalia seems real bad. Bring in this other Force Will. Probably want to roll spells. Here, did we just get punked out by breakfast? I mean, yeah, kind of. We just had like a really embarrassing hand. Also, why did my opponent daze my Thalia? When it just like did flat nothing. Guess maybe we want Stoneforge package. I already forgot the stats of like all of the creatures that they showed us and whether or not GTA is going to be relevant. Deputy Detention is probably fine. Force Negation, maybe. Oh yeah, Rip makes sense if they're gonna mill themselves forever. Yeah, GTA seems good versus them. Probably want these. I feel like this is gonna be way too many cards. I don't know if Force Negation is like good enough though, right? I mean. You can turn a Dread Return, but are they going to just go off into it? I mean, they did that game, I guess. Would not recommend Force Negation. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't even know if I want like these paths. Oh, they have Cabal therapies? We didn't see any therapies, did we? Did I just miss them? Using this term Force Negation. I love using the phrase medium. Medium very much describes Force Negation. Yeah, my opponent was just straight Bant. They weren't, like, they couldn't hardcast a Cabal Therapy. Oh, no, not to click. The Soul Hurt is what I meant to click on there. Queller's kind of slow. Yeah, Queller's kind of slow. Bad against Aether Vial. It's, like, not bad. Brazen Borrower. Kira's probably not great. They're probably boarding at some level of interaction, but... We have 5 more cards to board out. Jesus. Do we even want, like, moms? How much are we protecting our own shit? Cliffy means Queller's medium. Yeah. Maybe we'll, like, shave a Spell Queller. And... this is Venser seems really slow. Something like that, I guess. Sure. This feels like it's a really good matchup for me if I know what the fuck I'm doing, and I absolutely don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This hand doesn't seem very good. This hand also doesn't seem very good. This might be just how we lose. Alright, cool. Keep what? Land, Queller, Force, Plow. Can't even cast the Queller, but it pitches before, so we draw a 3rd land. Do we want to keep... I don't think we want to keep the Port. Maybe we do. So definitely putting this back. Maybe we have to keep the Port. So we actually have something to do and hopefully, like, stall my opponent on. Use the Plow before... yeah, because they can activate the combo infinitely instant speed. Am I supposed to force an Aether Vial? I feel like no. Well, definitely not supposed to force that. You have to be wary of a Vial on 2 for a Cephalid Illusionist or something. Ugh. Oh, that's not a great draw. It was an okay draw if we find some more lands, but we need to find some more lands first. I should fetch my Hallowed Fountain. They might have a 15 card transformational sideboard. I mean, we can't fight against a lot with our Mold of 5 here. We're kind of crossing our fingers on this one. More Ponders, sure. Land? Dicks. I have to cast this Aether Vial. We're like so far behind. Force a little something scary if they just like try to slam an Oko or something. Oko would be a card I could definitely see this deck just sideboarding into. That's fine. That's less fine. They might just like deck themselves and then we just force will and kill them. If it's anything like last game. I think I'll let this resolve. Maybe I'm wrong because they have more nomads or what more core things. Less illusionists, so it might have been right to plow that. Or not plow that. Might have been right just to force that and not plow. Yeah, if they didn't show us therapy, they might have just like gotten fucked by this force of will. That resolves. Come on, play a real spell, please. Come on, do it. Do it. Come on, cast a real spell, opponent. Yeah. Yeah, give me that Shaman Encore. If they force this, I really don't want to force back. Alright, do we just like let him go for it here and just force Will the Dread Return and let them die? Or do we force the days? I'm like a little curious if they have a plan B. They have to, right? There's no way. You know, I'll let it resolve for science. We're doing it for science. They also might just like have another daze or like a force in their hand. Wait, do they just like mill themselves a little bit? And then just pass the turn? What? Is that their plan to beat Force of Will, is not go off? Okay. I'll say go, I guess. Their plan to beat Force of Will is to wait? Interesting. This was definitely the incorrect play. Forcing the daze is almost 100% correct. But I want to know. I had to know. Sure. Maybe they... Nope, they didn't have the Thassa's Oracle in hand. We can click them. Worldly Tutor. What do they... Alright. I guess we let them Worldly Tutor. We can click away the card. If we want. Unless it's like randomly an instant. Is it like the Thassa's Oracle so they can file it in? It is. Okay, that makes sense. So, how do we beat that? Can we actually beat that? Might have fucked up. Because now they can vial in the Oracle and then mill themselves, and then we... Because they can... What, they, So they Worldly Tutored for this Thassa's Oracle, so they're going to draw it. Click them to force them to draw, but I put the card back so they would just draw a card and it wouldn't matter. Yeah, I think we might be dead now. After they mill, yeah, but like I take a card from their hand, put it to the bottom of their deck, and then they draw a card. Like it doesn't work. And they'll have 0 cards in the library, so I can't click them to get the Thassa's Oracle out of their hand because then they'll just redraw the Thassa's Oracle with the Aether Vial activation still in the stack. Yeah, I think they might have outplayed me. They might have just like big brained me here. World Bleacher for the Thassa's Oracle. This Vial takes to 2 before like this is in their hand too. They might misplay. Just click and hope they don't know how to play the deck. That seems bad. Seems like letting them fuck it up is probably smarter. Probably won't just... Yeah, I imagine... I mean, they did this... They definitely did this intentionally. Like, they had a plan to beat my Force of Will, which was to Worldly Tutor for this Thassa's Oracle. If we had, like, a removal spell, we could have, like, tried to incentivize them to go off first or something. Yeah. More Thassa's Oracles. They may play around me having a plow. Oh, we can't beat me having a... Or no, they can't. They can beat having a plow by just milling themselves and then putting in the Thassa's Oracle, right? Oh, they have a ton of Thassa's Oracles. Did they board into more, or did I just, like, not see them all last game? Yeah, they just beat plow face up, yeah. Or, like, I could have plowed there to break up the combo. Dharma's Call. Yeah, they were just all in Cephalid Breakfast. Jeez. They did outplay the shit out of me, though. Yeah, because now I can't Vendilion click them. I'm going to Vendilion click them anyway because I want to know what else is in their hand. But then they'll just redraw the Thassa's Oracle. If only we had that cycled bird thing. Counter that Vile Trigger, and then Force of Will the thing, get him. Oh no, they had 2 Thassa's Oracles! They were so... and a Plow! They were so ready! This is like how a 12-year-old pulls a deck when they learn a 2-card combo. That's like, I don't want it to like be insulting, but that tracks. That makes sense. 4xA to 4xB, 37x2. Yeah, that does track a lot. Definitely could have won that game pretty handedly if we weren't an idiot, but I definitely wanted to see what their plan was. It was definitely an exercise in, like, a weird deck. Worth it. I was that 12-year-old? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were that 12-year-old. I definitely was. Wasn't meant to be. Yeah, I literally did choose to lose that game in order to find out if we could what my opponent could do to beat like our bad plan. Could have just like countered the countered the Days Queller to their Nomad thing, and then like had a second Queller when they had the Worldly Jitter. Worth it. Gold Rook. This is a combo player, right? This is like a Storm player. I think last time I thought they were on like Ant or something, and I think they Doomsdayed me. I'm gonna keep this hand against Ant or Doomsday and die. Oh, it's not bad against Doomsday, I guess. They're a Doomsday specialist. I don't know, this hand's not great. Click's not bad, but we could definitely get better hands against Doomsday. Keep it anyway. We'll draw a bunch of Force Wills. It'll be fine. Thought Seize. Goodbye, Click. Mulliganing is for people that aren't getting Thought Seized. I'm pretty sure this is Doomsday. Last time if I recall correctly, the last time I played against this deck, last time I played against Gold Rook, I like put a Prelate on 4 because they like were like heavily advertising Ant, and then they just fucking Doomsdayed me. Yeah, pretty easy click there. This league maybe X and Thassa's Oracle. What was our loss was 12 post, so that was probably the worst draw in our deck. I don't imagine this Plow is going to get a lot of value. I'll rip my true name, I guess. Time for the beatdown squad. Strong Meddling Mage, just put on Doomsday. Cha-ching indeed. Legacy seems rather unfair tonight. Yeah, that's kind of why I liked the blue-white. Do I attack here? Assume they have interaction. They don't have interaction main deck, right? They might. It's Doomsday, so they might just have like random bullshit one-ofs for Doomsday piles. Yeah. The trouble with like playing against a bunch of nonsense tonight is that like I never know what the fuck to play around. I think it's worth more to not attack. The last time I lost to Doomsday, they were at like 2 life or something, and I could have like attacked them with bombs. But ooh, Port is also a good draw, because we get to play Mom and Port them. I don't think this is the Doomsday player that was on Massacre and Terminus. I played against a Doomsday player that had both of those cards in their sideboard, and we just got absolutely fucking demolished. Yeah, I think that was someone else. That list was fire. That list was so fucking gross. Just like absolutely never going to win as Death and Taxes. Like multiple Massacres and Terminus. Terminus with Doomsday is really hot though, because you can like make a Doomsday pile and then like you're staring down a lethal or whatever, and you just like have a street wraith, and you get like, okay, Doomsday, go, and then you cycle the street wraith and like terminus them or whatever, and then you go off next turn. God, terminus is pretty hot. The Massacres were just rude though. Was it Gold Rook? God damn it. Fuck. No, he's not on Massacres. They're not on Massacres. We're fine. This is just 4 terminuses. I guess we put this Black Source. Because they have 2 blue. Whoa. Oh yeah, they do have Astrolabes. Like splashing for Teferi. No LED and Shriek combo. Yeah, we're drawing a little bit too many Mothers of Runes. The Mom Squad. We could attack for like 4 then 5 next turn though, which is nice. And the Mom is kind of important because like it can nullify Teferis and stuff, so it's not unreasonable. We are very much in danger of just dying, though. PTA meeting started. I do love that just a bunch of people in chat all chimed in with their 3 mom jokes immediately. Yeah, Teferi's the main deck bounce. Yeah, so having a mom up isn't, like, unreasonable. Are we just getting Doomsdayed? No, we're getting Teferi. That's fine, because they can't bounce anything. It doesn't do... It just lets them cast a sorcery instant speed next turn, but... That doesn't do anything. Ooh, second port, also very good. So we have to wasteland this Underground Sea, attack them before... Pour down a bunch of their stuff. Instant speed Doomsday solves the problem of drawing into the pile. Well, I mean, they can't instant speed the Doomsday like on their upkeep or something. Because they have to plus the Teferi first. Yeah. Dude, the second port. Mom Squad got there. Alright, what the fuck are we doing for sideboarding? Like, this and this, I guess? Does Lavinia even fucking do anything? It can stop them from, like, Dark Rit Doomsdaying or something, but... Oh, I guess it also stops, like, Petal or LED or something. It's definitely better than, like, not having it. Certainly. Get this fucking GT out of my deck. Get these plows out of my deck. We need to bring in more cards. Fuck. We genuinely just don't have enough cards. GT's back in? Deputy of Detention doesn't do anything, right? They don't have permanence. If they, like, board into Baleful Strixes, maybe. I think that wasn't Goldrook that did that, though. What is the 2-drop you cut? What, you mean, like, the GTA that I cut from the deck? There was a GTA in the main deck, and we just cut it. But it's possible we can just board in a GTA or something. Wow, all these cards fucking suck ass. Oh, Stoneforge, yeah. You're talking about from D&T in general, yeah. Wow, all these cards suck a lot. Deputy Detention pages the Force of Will? And can clear nothing, basically. Can kill their Astrolabes, and then when they remove my Deputy, they get to draw cards. Pinches the Force Will honestly might be like the best argument for this these Deputies of Detention. Oof. We've got Melee Mage Queller, which are good Magic cards.
off of just this Vial is a little risky. It's hard for them to interact with the Vial. They could, like, Teferi it on turn 3 or something. Which could not be great for us. Can Violet misstop a value Thassa's Oracle? You're not wrong. I hate mulliganing against Thoughtseize. Is it possible for Rip to mess up a Doomsday? But I thought about that. It's maybe possible, but it doesn't feel super likely. This hand has good cards. Not that many good cards. I don't know. Actually, Kira's pretty strong. Yeah, without discard, definitely makes it harder. Kira's not actually bad because it protects the stuff from like the random bullshit. We're pretty soft to Terminus, though. I think this hand's a mulligan, especially on the draw. Alright, well, I guess this is a hand that we're keeping. Put the basic planes to the bottom. We can fetch Tundra to cast all our spells. They Thoughtseize me, they take the Kira, and then just play through the Thalia, and we have this dead second Thalia, but that's just my life. Deputy stops Shelldock Emrakul. Oh yeah, there's potentially a chance that we get Shelldocked. Alright, we can fetch our Hallowed Fountain on end step here. Rip Kira, I guess? Potentially rip Thalia, and then they have an answer for the second Thalia, because the Kira like, doesn't really matter. Because that's the decision my opponent's making, too. Yeah, Thassa's Oracle definitely makes battles a lot easier, because you don't have to, like, you need one less mana, and you don't have to draw a card afterwards. And also, you don't even have to go through your whole Doomsday pile sometimes, if you don't need to play around removal. Thassa's Oracle was like a big upgrade. Did you take a Thalia? Interesting. Time to fetch our Hallowed Fountain like a nerd. Yeah, get him. I would not like to pay 2 life. Schadenport's nice. I don't think we have to play it. Don't think he's playing with Unearth Files. Oh yeah, there's a possibility that there's like Unearth involved. Don't think there's a very high chance I'm gonna get a Wasteland off. I think it doesn't really matter. Tundra. Go Thalia. It's hard because I want to be porting, but we definitely just need to advance our board state enough first. Oh, that's not a good draw. Yeah, I think we're just like gonna play Kira here. Kill the Thalia in response. Nope, I'm just getting massacred or something. Brainstorm, alright. Not the worst thing in the world. I think 4 is enough damage and we have enough lands that I'm not going to cast Brazen Bar next turn. I want to start porting. We like port and draw nothing. We can cast a Brazen Bar the following turn. Also hold up Petty Theft for however little that's worth. I don't know if there are any worlds where Petty Theft is relevant. Soul Herder, that doesn't do anything, especially with my Kira in play. It doesn't even get bigger. Probably correct for me to just port. Petty Theft their Astrolabe. Got him. That's kind of a bummer. Can't even Brazen Borrow my stuff because it's non-land permanent and opponent controls because Arena. They're probably pretty boned here. If only I had Petty Theft at their Arkham's Astrolabe, then they could have just fetched. Yeah, you got it. Goodbye, my board. You also can't pay for Thalia, and you would counter for Cure. These are all true facts. You're not wrong on any of these. Yeah, Esper Doomsday. Terminus seems like a pretty sweet card when you're casting Doomsday, right? I think we're just going to leave a Brazen Borrower here since it's just way more power than Soul Harder. Yeah, I think we just want to port and cast our 3-power creature for however little that's worth. I once had someone make a play against me that if that was a GRV for 5 reasons. I only talked about a play that was GRV for 3. Not quite as good. Thoughtseize. Oh, well, I'm gonna make a 3-1. You can take one of my 1/1s, probably the Soul Harder, because it can become a 2/2. They're at 8, but they've also had a lot of turns to just sit and twiddle their thumbs. Yep. Imagine they're not fetching with this strand, because there's a chance they can't cast Doomsday because we're keeping them off of the 3rd black. And they don't want to expose it to the Wasteland or anything. If I put them to 1, they can't cast Doomsday, right? Because then Doomsday rounds down. Or rounds up. So I definitely want to keep porting this Snow-Covered Swamp. I guess if I put them to 1, they also can't fetch this Flood Strand, which is also good for me. Dicks. Is playing Masker and Terminus. So much for winning this game. Oh no, they're just gonna also kill me this turn. The Masker just for BM. So we get to see their whole deck, right? Terminus, yeah, Terminus and Masker in the same deck is just extremely rude. Why you gotta be like that? I can't even, like, Meddling Mage their board wipe, because they just have 2. Extremely upsetting. Okay, like, they don't have to play around anything. There's no possible way this Doomsday pile... I guess they only have, like, 2 cards in hand. So, like, maybe they're trying to find a Doomsday pile that can kill me this turn. With, like, 2 cards in hand and 1 mana. Alright. Wow, do they not even have, like, plows? Is it just Terminus? Okay, they did decide on a pass the turn pile. I don't know what we could draw that could possibly save us. Definitely not that. We'll try our best. Go, Mom. Get him. I believe in you. Got him. Take that, opponent. How are you gonna win now? Really? Yeah, we're really good at drawing Mom. Both these games. It's just like, what? Predict? Crack LED? I'm sure, yeah. Whatever works. But yeah, Thought Seizes, Dark Reds, Cantrips, Terminus. Ideas Unbound, alright, sure, yeah. And then they're gonna draw their deck, and then cast this Thoughtless Oracle, and then kill me. And probably, like... Notably, they don't have any... Oh, no, they do have their Force of Wills in still. Never mind, I thought they didn't. 1, 2 Force of Wills only that I see. The third one might be in their hand to prevent me from, like, winning with some bullshit, like 1 mana counter or something. Or if I, like, drew Force of Will and, like, didn't tap out, they probably could have, like, Force blue card or something in there as the last cards in their hand. Some nonsense like that. Mostly just want to look to see what else they have. It's really nothing. Just mana. Massacre. Looks like only 1 Massacre that I see. 3 Terminuses. Assuming they board. They might not have enough room to board all their forces out. They have 2 still in. Although I guess they boarded in like 3 Terminuses and a Massacre at least. Yeah, that's a lot of fucking shit to pile on. I don't know. Like, there's a possibility that we want GTAs because like if we get a GTA connection and get counters on it, then like you can save some of your creatures from a Massacre. So that might be a tick where Deputy doesn't have one. I haven't drawn any forces all match. Would be nice against this deck, I imagine. Lavinia also pretty good against Massacre. Lavinia plus Meddling Mage on Terminus is nice. Hello, Twin Dum. I don't know how to pronounce your name. And then we're just hitting Submit again. Deputy survives Massacre. Wow. Just next level plays. I want like a Deputy my own stuff to protect it from Massacre. Dang, these one-landers, huh? Alright, this is a solid hand. Fucking ship this sure name. Got a lot of hate here. God, Moto, please. Potentially have Caracas to save Thalia from a Massacre at some point. Well, I imagine at least one of my cards is getting Thought Seized. Tip your stuff to save. Yeah, too bad it doesn't work. Yeah, I was talking about GTA allowing things to survive Massacre potentially. Definitely not unreasonable. Deputy Detention is certainly not a good card in this matchup by any stretch. How does it feel? Dude, seeing that felt great. Sometimes you just like smush your opponent's face and it's just gas. It's a good card to draw. Oh man, just play around Massacre this turn too. I can't even Massacre my Thalia. In. Jam Mage and never play Tundra. I'm a little bit tempted. We're trying to like fade Terminus super hard. Naming Doomsday and holding up a valve for click on Terminus is near. Yeah, that's probably actually very accurate, especially like port and stuff. We don't even have to put the mage until draw step here. So we can just attack for 2, port them, draw step, Meddling Mage Doomsday. Because we don't even have to Meddling Mage on draw step yet. Although, no, if they like fetch. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. They could potentially cast a Doomsday. But casting Doomsday into Thalia plus Meddling Mage and having a click seems like maybe dangerous. I don't know. Let's attack. Step 1. They also do have like Teferi and stuff, but. And if we take the Val past 2, we can't get our Meddling Mage back. They did show us like 0 source of plowshares, notably. Yeah, we don't have to put in Meddling Mage here yet, because they actually can't cast a Doomsday because of the port. Let them resolve Doomsday and jam it on Oracle. That seems extremely bold, yes. I mean, they can't cast Doomsday here yet. If they like cast Dark Ritual, we just Violent Meddling Mage on Doomsday in response and just get them. I think we're just gonna end set Meddling Mage on Doomsday and then leave Vile for click forever to beat Terminus. And then we also can like just Violent Recruiter and slowly like get other 3-drops to put in. And so it's just like a cantrip here. Fetch a Swamp, cast a Ponder. If they cast a Thoughtseize, it's kind of awkward. Because our Terminus shields are down. We could also like potentially Recruiter for a Mage or some point. If we can find our basic island. No Bandless Modern, I probably would not play that. Dark Ritual, alright, yeah, we snap Meddling Mage Doomsday. Is Teferi? Yeah, sure. Well, they can't massacre. Oh, they could like hardcast. No, they were one mana off hardcast massacring me. So this is fine because they didn't bounce anything, so we can just actually attack the Teferi for 4, so they can't bounce any of my 2-drops, take the Vial up to 3, and say go. Flashiker. I think we can just attack this Teferi down to 1. Take this Vial up to 3. This is Speed Massacre. They need several more mana to Speed Massacre. Because we don't have any planes. We can put in this Recruiter, go get some random 3-drop. I don't even know what looks good here. Ponder, sure. Soul Herder. Just keep recruiting for more things. Get Deputy. For what? We can't even get Deputy. It's got 3 toughness. They did not shuffle on that Ponder. Take the Astrolabe. But also, yeah, we absolutely cannot Deputy. Let's see what we can get. Let's make a decision. Venser is kind of hot, but we'd have to take that out to 4, so probably not happening. If we ever find... Ooh, Lavinia's... Or Kira's actually not bad. Kira's probably way better than Soul Herder is, just to protect our shit. I can Valid in the draw step if we don't get Terminus. Soul Herder go all in. It feels like Kira's just way better, right? Ooh, Force Will's nice. Although... we're not going to be able to hold it up through the Staliax, so we're going to keep porting. Yeah, I think all their answers are in Sweeper form, but like Kira puts the most power. I guess Breezemore technically puts more power in play, but prevents like a second Teferi from being annoying or something. Potentially, like the second Teferi bounce the Meddling Mage and we can't recast it. I don't think I need to hold up Force this turn though. cycle an upkeep to try to blind hit a Terminus? What happened there? I'm like scared for an unknown reason, so I don't even want to put in the Kira right now. They just trying to hit enough land drops to just massacre me. They need 6 mana to do so. They could like be able to like Dark Ray Massacre too, which is something we have to look out for. Yeah, I mean that's why we've been holding up the click so long, because we want to play around Terminus specifically. Five, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Yeah, if they have like 2 Terminus in their hand and that Moto bug still exists, then I'm up shit creek. But if they have to like hardcast a Massacre for after getting ported, then like hardcast it, and like the click is still lethal. Also, I guess we can't force it because we keep porting here. But if they just hardcast a Massacre, they still die. Because we just click. They play 5th land, hardcast a Massacre for 5 mana. Oh, there's the Dark Ritual. I'm a little tempted to just click the Massacre out of their hand, but I kind of like just want to let them cast it. They did it. Played around that Massacre for so long. What you got in that hand, opponent? Nice Doomsday Ponder land. I will not put any of those cards to the bottom. Yeah, did it. Played around that Massacre like a champ. Tundra in the hand the whole fucking time. Yeah, Kraka's MVP. It's our only white source that that let us cast our Thalia on turn 2. Yeah, fucking Thassa's Oracle. They did in fact also have the Doomsday. I think that turn they got Dark Ritual, they definitely were planning on just casting Doomsday and just like audibled into the Teferi instead. But yeah, so we lost to the same green 12+ player that I keep queuing into and keep losing to. That matchup seems horrible. We also lost to like the nonsense breakfast deck, which I think that matchup is like extremely good for this deck, but we also like lost because we were like specifically dumb because we wanted to see how they could beat like a single counter spell without Cabal therapies. And the plan was they really can't. They really don't have a plan B. Like, morally tutoring for the Thassa's Oracle, not a super good plan by any means. Yeah, they also just had like, I think they only had 3 Thassa's Oracle. Did they have 4? Yeah, they did 2 in hand. I think they milled over 2. I don't know. Whatever. It was worth it for science. I don't give a shit about winning some random match against like Bant super all in breakfast. But anyway, this deck, I keep playing it, and maybe it's just the fact that I keep queuing into matchups that like traditional Death and Taxes just does not have a good time in. Like we play against Doomsday. Normal D&T does not have good hate for Doomsday, but like we get Meddling Mage, we get Spell Quellers, we get like Forces. Meddling Mage is huge versus the combo deck. That's why the Mariner get cut. It's possible the Lavinia wants to get cut, but I wanted to play 4 Meddling Mages because I was only playing 3. And I quickly realized that Meddling Mage was absolutely the reason to be playing blue with this deck. So I just kept the Mariner for a 4th Meddling Mage. There's definitely some likelihood that the Lavinia should not be in the main deck. There's also a likelihood that Lavinia should not be in the 75. There are random decks that Lavinia is like decent against though. So maybe it's just a nice option to have like a 1-0, but I might not want to. The other thing is that this deck is pretty starved for 2-drops. So like trying to like shift some numbers around, I would definitely like want access to more 2s. A big thing is like how stunted your curve is and like how many 3s you have. So it's a possibility I could play like 2 Mariners or something and like cut probably this Kira. Kira's like medium. Mariner does a similar thing to Kira, except worse but cheaper. Also protects your face from targets, so it's like not strictly worse, but definitely potential that I could play some Mariners, just like try to smooth out the curve a little bit. That was also part of the idea between Kira dealt 2 before it died to Massacre. You're not wrong. It did deal them 2 damage and then died of Massacre. But anyway, part of the reason I wanted this like mini Stoneforge package was because I think one of the big things that you lose by splashing blue is you lose out on some of the creature matchups, most of the creature matchups, but especially Thalia Mirrors, like decks that also have Stoneforge Mystic and stuff. And the fact that you have to cut all your Thalias versus all those leaves like a huge gap in your 2-drop slot, so being able to board in like some extra 2s and also just like double GTA to try to fight try to fight those creature decks seems like not unreasonable. So I kind of liked the Stoneforge plan. We didn't play against like any creature decks today, right? It was, I mean, I guess if you include that Bant Breakfast deck, it was 12 post, Esper Doomsday, a 4-color like Mentor Nonsense Blade. What else did we play against? I've already forgotten at this point. Oh, like that mono blue Urza prison deck. And then we 2-0'd something, didn't we? I forget. Whatever. But point is that I don't know, this deck feels like there's like honestly like it's like not unreasonable. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting lucky, maybe I'm just like it's riding the coattails of like having a decent enough Death and Taxes core that like I can pilot it to like decent finishes regardless. Like we 3-2'd this league and we got like we 4-3'd in the challenge. That's like not like exactly exciting results. But I don't know. As someone who's been playing a lot of D&T and has been frustrated in certain matchups, the blue cards have felt like they've been adding something. To the point where like I feel like it might actually warrant more testing. Just a worse version of Esper Vile deck? I don't think so, not necessarily. The Esper Vile deck, you miss out on a lot of land disruption via like Rashad Port Wasteland. You miss out on the taxing element because you don't have Thalia. In exchange, you get access to like exactly Baleful Strix and Plague Engineer, which are both like very powerful cards, and also help round out your curve a lot better. But the Esper Vile deck definitely like just like grinds super hard, whereas this deck is definitely more tempo focused. Yeah, also they're like a 19 land like Vile deck. It does blow my mind though. Like they also have like Brainstorms and stuff, but every time I see this list, like there was a 20 land list and then like JTL cut it down to 19. It's like how do you live like this? Just like aggressively brainstorming for lands all the time, I guess, but I don't know, I don't play with cantrips. Cantrips are for losers. But yeah, that deck seems incredibly mana hungry and like doesn't have enough land drops. But I don't know, I haven't actually played with the deck. So but yeah, fundamentally it does have a different game plan of just like super grind fest, whereas this deck is definitely more like tempo oriented. Could add green for Oko. This mana base is a fucking dumpster fire already. I had to stretch this mana base so hard to accommodate actually being able to cast Metal Mages on turn 2 with reasonable consistency and still play like Rashad Ports and Wastelands in the deck. We're playing this fucking Hallowed Fountain, which like might want to be an 8th fetch, but Hallowed Fountain's sweet for like the BMing factor. Your opponents all lose to a deck with Hallowed Fountain in it in Legacy. But anyway, it's not even the good fountain art. It was a fountain that I owned, so it's the good fountain art to me. But anyway, I think that's enough of me sitting and talking about the deck. Maybe there's a future for this deck. I'll have to mull it over for sure. Also, we kind of wanted to fit the 4th Forcible in the main deck. 3 Forces in the main felt like kind of silly, but I don't know. Maybe there's a possibility I want to play like 3 Plows, 4 Forces, and like cut a path or something. I don't know why I'm physically actually moving the cards around when I want to keep this deck the way it is, but anyway, let's go host. It's Monday, so probably Card Hoarder, or not Card Hoarder, Card Kingdom, right? May not have the blue count for 4 Forcible. We have like a reasonable amount of blue cards, honestly. I counted like the blue count of some of the other like a bit skimpier Forcible decks. It's like not unreasonable. I think we have like 18 or something. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah. Definitely skip it on blue cards a little bit, but would be 19 if we played the 4th Force. So pretty good. There haven't been a huge amount of games where I've been like stranded with the Force in my hand and like a bunch of like mono white spells. Usually the games where Force gets stranded in your hand is because you had to like play out all your other cards. Because you play to the board pretty aggressively. Also, this Venser, which might just be like greedy and bad. Like maybe we just don't need it, but it's nice against like the Omniscience decks. To, like have access to something like Venser, but something like Deputy can play a similar role. But you can't Recruiter for a Deputy. I don't know. I also really like Spell Queller. There's a little bit of a tension between Recruiter and Spell Queller in the deck, but Spell Queller I think is honestly really powerful for this deck, just because it's so tempo focused, and the ability to like have Mom and Thalia and like Mana Denial and Meddling Mage as Spell Queller can make it really hard for your opponents to actually get the Spell Queller back off the board and get their spell back and stuff. Also, Spell Queller Lavinia Wombo combo has never come up yet, but it's like kind of sweet. Anyway, it's gonna be it. Let's actually go host. Oh man, someone's playing Death and Taxes? Oh, never mind. They're getting whomped by a post here. They have no permanents, it looks like, versus an Ulamog. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe there's some here. I'll chat to people about it. Feel free to hit me up if you want to tell me about how bad or good this deck is, because I'm definitely interested in talking about it. But anyway, have a good night. Have a good start of your week, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for showing up, hanging out, supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys all on Wednesday for something. I don't know what I'm streaming yet. I'll figure it out later.